Scotland Yard. Yes. The estate at the end of Marston Avenue. Yes, of course. No, we haven't touched the body. Very well. Natalie, darling, don't worry. Scotland Yard is sending one of the very best crime scene investigators. We did the right thing.
No, we didn't. We broke in, Rob. And how are we supposed to explain ourselves being here without dropping that little nugget? We're going to get bloody nipped.
Look at yourself, you little twit. You call yourself a professional and you're babbling like a paranoid idiot. Pull it together. Much better. In your haste, you failed to see past the obvious. Of course we can explain our presence here. It just takes a little creativity. Our car ran out of petrol, and we came here to see if this obviously well-to-do homeowner might have a spare cab. The door was already open, probably from the result of a break-in from some intruder, and we found him with his head bathed in clouds. For the most part, that is incredibly accurate.
That is indeed true, Robert, except of course for the fact that we were the damning ones who broke into this estate. And considering that our car did not run out of petrol, it'll be hard to convince one of Scotland Yard's best private investigators that it was not us who broke in. They broke him!
2 steps ahead of you, Rob. There's a length of garden hose in the trunk which I can use to siphon out the petrol. I'll go do that and drive the car squad away from the gates. Meanwhile, you take a moment to compose yourself and stop acting like a child. Do you think you can accomplish these things, Nat?
I hate it when you call me that. It sounds like an insect, which is not the characteristic deserving of a woman.
Except that you really do exhibit the nature of a gnat, with a tendency to annoy and serve no real purpose. By the by, Natalie, be sure not to disturb the body. We don't need that incriminating evidence for a crime we didn't commit.
Bastard! Why does he treat me so cruelly? And for that matter, why do I allow him to continue to do so? I could be the most infamous thief in all of London now, an achievement that no woman has ever had. But instead of keeping my eye on the prize, I fall for that womanizing, chauvinistic, narrow-minded, vain, attractive, charming, sexy, debonair. Oh God, I love him. Bloody hell! What was that?
Is someone there? I've already phoned the police and an investigator will be arriving shortly. Before you try to assault me as you have my employer, know that I am armed to the teeth with lethal weapons and I know how to use them. However, if you yield and throw your weapons very, very, very far away, I shall spare you a rather nasty thrashing.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Don't try denying it, you fiendish thug! I've seen what you did, and I'll be buried in the rosaries and pooped on by the Pope before I let you do it to me! Now throw down your weapon and prepare to be thrashed in a manner that puts the thrashing! Savage thrashing villain! Ah! Evil she-devil vixen! 'Twas thou that bested my master! Answer, foul witch!
Why are you talking like that?
Oh, you see, I rather enjoy Shakespeare, and I like to incorporate his word usage in everyday life. I love the iambic pentameter, the ironic play on words that reach for the stars, villain!
Just relax. My fiancé and I parked farther back of the road. Our car simply ran out of petrol, then we came here and...
Not my master upon his pate, bringing about his untimely demise. But thou didst not expect to find so powerful an opponent to redeem his debt. And thus he is before you. Savage thrashing! Ah!
Stop it! Stop it!
Oh, just make it quick! No, don't make it quick! Don't do it at all! I don't want to die!
I'm not going to kill you, idiot. My fiancé and I came in here and found your employer lying like this with the glass broken in. After dialing the police, my fiancé went back to the car to wait for the authorities. We were unaware that anyone else was here.
So, you promise you won't kill me?
I promise.
But promise what?
That I won't kill you.
Altogether.
I promise that I won't kill you, Mr.
Buttle, Bradley Buttle. 'Twas I that served Master Watson as faithful butler.
Mr. Bradley Buttle's the butler. Well, that's a mouthful. I'm Natalie Carson, and my fiancé Robert should be back shortly with the authorities.
Pleasure to meet you, Miss Carson. I sent word into the yard earlier as well. I hope they don't get mixed up in sin, too. At any rate, would you like anything to drink while we wait? Perhaps a cup of tea or coffee or...
A double gin tonic, if you don't mind.
Right away,
Natalie, I just took care of...
Savage thrashing villain!
Oh, Robert, darling! Don't be alarmed. This is Mr. Bottles. He's the butler to the owner of the estate, Mr. Watson.
Oh, dreadfully sorry about that, old boy. I'm afraid I'm a victim to my reflexes.
As am I, sir, as am I. It's just that... Ever since I've seen my Master Watson lying here dead, I've been at my wit's end. It's as if some civil war wages with my mind that knows no end. Indeed, the past 20 minutes hasn't been easy. At any rate, the inspector should be arriving shortly.
Naturally, he's right here.
Willow, friend, it seems as though you're dead. I always told you stock marketing was a dangerous business. I'll be very lucrative. Well, good day, dear boy.
Are you the inspector from Scotland Yard?
Not with the yard, sir. My intelligence level is too high. My name is Sherlock Holmes, private investigator. I happened to be by the yard to collaborate on a case, and I got one of the calls. I heard the name Watson, and I had to come. You see, I used to employ John Watson.
Oh, really? Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Holmes. I'm Mr. Buttles, Mr. Watson's butler. Funny, he never mentioned working for you before.
No, he wouldn't have mentioned it. He was in the presence of the greatest detective on in all the world on a regular basis. I imagine that would have made his own intellect appropriately inferior. But to the more pressing matter. At first glance, it seems that Dr. Watson was the victim of a severe blunt trauma to the skull. The perpetrator, no doubt a male, dressed in black based on the fabric underneath Watson's fingernails, and rather able-bodied.
That's what it seemed like to
So
me.
that's at a first glance with an untrained, ignorant eye. A closer look will reveal that Dr. Watson was in the middle of a rather nasty asthma attack prior to the assault. Based on the inhaler in his hand, he was no doubt in the throes of asphyxia when the suspect struck him. And judging by the wound, at first glance it seems that the murder weapon was a fire poker.
Yes, it's there next to the body.
But a closer examination proves that to be false. You see that small incision on the back of his neck? Judging on the precise diameter of that wound, I bet it was an ice pick, no doubt used to sever the spinal cord, causing paralysis and ultimately death. However, that simply doesn't make sense. If Watson was truly experiencing an asthma attack, there would be no need to paralyze him. And if there was, why strike him with the fire poker?
That's what I'm here to find out.
Oh, who are you?
Lieutenant Horatio Kane. Miami-Dade County CSI.
I'm Natalie Carson, and that's my fiancé Robert. He made the call to Scotland Yard. But why are you here?
Well, I'm on vacation. I own a cottage a couple miles up the road, and I was out for a walk. You know, trying to think of some tough cop lines when I smelled it and suddenly came running.
Smelled what?
Crime scene. You are, sir?
Bradley Buttons, Mr. Watson's butler.
Who's Mr. Watson?
That would be the murder victim, the one I was examining when you came blundering in. Now, if you don't mind, Dr. Watson was... What the hell are you doing?
How did you die? Talk to me, damn it, how did you die? Lieutenant Kane, first report on subject Watson. Victim seems to be asthmatic due to the inhaler in the right hand. Flovent. Also seems to be suffering from osteoporosis. Small circular wound on the back of the neck. What's this on his fingernails?
All right, you pompous idiots. Really do I find it necessary to assault a man verbally? My intellect doesn't just find without words. However, as a Dade County officer, I do believe that you're more than substantially out of your jurisdiction, especially being on vacation. And secondly, we already know what's under Watson's fingernails. It's some sort of black
sorry, sir. Who are you?
I, sir, am Sherlock Holmes, the greatest detective mind of all time. I have solved countless cases with and without the help of Dr. Watson. I'm revered throughout London as the
I don't mean your name. I mean your department, your rank.
Oh, well, I'm a private investigator.
A private investigator? Are you versed in medical studies? Practice medicine? Are you familiar with the top 343 substances found in most crime scenes?
Well, I have you know
Well,
that.
I mean, I only ask because I am. Mr. Holmes. Sherlock, is it? Mind if I call you Shirley? I studied the aforementioned aspects of crime scenes when I was in college. While my classmates were out getting drunk with scantily clad co-eds, I was studying the finer points of crime scene investigation and tactical interrogation techniques. I hardly feel that I need to be reprimanded by a man whose prime was in a time when fingerprint identification machines seemed like a space-age apparatus. Furthermore, regardless of your job title, I'm a current law enforcement officer and you're a citizen. Therefore, I have more jurisdiction here than you do. And as much as I hate to admit it, Mr. Holmes, I believe I found the suspect in you.
Hardly so, chap. You see, you still lack conclusive evidence. And no matter how ancient my techniques are, I still know that that little nugget is a necessity involving a legal case. You see, the infamous two cannot be ignored. Motive and alibi. I'm afraid even with all your high-tech gadgetry, you have nothing solid to match with deductive reasoning.
I'm gonna get you.
Gentlemen, I believe that we are losing valuable time in this investigation by arguing in a joint effort with
I
Holmes.
just realized that we're losing valuable time in this investigation by arguing and that a joint effort would be the best cause. Mr. Holmes, you investigate the crime scene and I'll look at the body. Is that fair?
Very well, I suppose.
And go I shall, hence to the dining hall, merry to resume my winchful duties.
Very well. Callie? Yeah, it's Horatio. I need you to get to the mansion at 1229 Marston Avenue. No, not Miami. London. Well, I'm on vacation. Well, so what if I'm not? Well, it was a murder and I was walking and I... What does it even matter? You want a murderer running around the world at all? All right, Callie, if that's how you feel about it, reviews are coming up next week, and that's what I thought. I'll see you in a minute.
Natalie, can you believe our luck? Not only have our stories seemed to have worked, there's no one here who can officially arrest us anyway.
So, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
That we might not leave this little investigation empty-handed after all. You head off to the master bedroom, and I'll head to the lower level. That's probably where he keeps his vault.
What makes you think he has a fault?
Because, Natalie, the whole genre of the thing is mystery spoof. In every mystery spoof, it opens up with a dead millionaire in his home. He always houses the one vault, treasure worth killing. That always comes up later in the conversation. For heaven's sakes, Natalie, don't throw me a gift from the gods because you suddenly decided to think. Now go!
Okay.
Aha! Aha!
Sorry about the weight ratio. Seems like everybody's flying these days. I'm your CSI team, and we got an open invitation to use all their facilities. So what do you got for me?
Well, Callie, I need these samples analyzed, and I need it fast. Faster than usual. There you go. So, Mr. Holmes, how's your investigation of the crime scene going?
Very well played, Lieutenant. I'm sure you would love for me to get all the key elements I've discovered about the crime scene, so you can use them to support your no-doubt juvenile investigation of the body. I'm afraid I won't fall victim to such a ploy, sir. You first.
Very well. The dark substance under Watson's fingernails, which you claim to be fabric, I believe is pipe tobacco. Looking at Watson's condition, he's in no shape to be smoking. Therefore, I don't believe he smoked it. The killer, no doubt, left it. I also believe that the pipe tobacco is Middleton, used in popular black and mild cigars in the States, but is pipe tobacco here in England.
Very good observation, Lieutenant.
Thank you, Shirley. Hold on a second for the rest. Oh, excuse me. Yellow. Very interesting. Oh, you don't say. That's exactly what I thought. And the tobacco? Perfect. Call me back in a minute, Callie. Well, Mr. Holmes, it seems my investigator just proved that the tobacco was Middleton's and was not smoked by the suspect. Also, his inhaler was filled with arsenic. This was no average murder, Holmes. It was premeditated and the finger points at you.
How so?
Arsenic, Shirley, is an ancient poison as far as criminal. There's hundreds and hundreds of just as easy to obtain poisons that are far harder to detect. The only reason a person would use arsenic nowadays is because he didn't know any better. The severing of the spinal column supports this. In this case, violent spasms occur. Severing the spinal column causes paralysis, meaning he had to lay completely still while suffering a very painful death. This was a punishment, wasn't it?
That's preposterous. Why in the world would I punish Watson? What's the motive?
Oh, I'm getting there. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me again. Here we go. Callie, hope you didn't hang up. I was trying to find my phone. You don't say. Good, because we're on the motive now. I have his confession in a moment. Motive, Mr. Holmes? Nothing more than good old-fashioned blackmail. You remember a case called The Hound of the Baskervilles?
Yes, one of the more famous ones. Watson and I were hired to protect Sir Henry Baskerville at his family estate. And I had to convince Watson that I couldn't stay in order to set up surveillance of all the going-ons in the area.
That's true, but what you don't know is that Sir Henry uncovered a truth that could shake your private investigation firm to the ground. Do you remember your first famous case?
The case of the speckled diamond.
Yeah, something about a poisonous snake?
Yes, the culprit turned out to be the girl's father, who murdered his other daughter using a rare poisonous snake that was referred to as a speckled diamond.
A snake that actually bit Mr. Watson upon discovery. This is what permanently damaged his upper respiratory system, giving him asthma. Sir Henry then informed Watson that he could take you to court for medical costs that you as his employer were obligated to pay. And that's just what he did, didn't he?
That's not right. Watson decided to drop the case. That is why I never made it to court officially. Of course, that's probably what you were going to ask next.
Well, that is a great cover-up, Mr. Holmes. Except, Watson realized that extortion is far more profitable than a successful court case. He began swindling money out of you and investing it in the stock market. This continued for years.
This is preposterous. All right, Watson did extort me. He helped. He made millions off the money he's squeezed out of me, and it helped destroy my practice. I came here to speak to him. I did not kill him.
Lying's an ugly color on you, Shirley. You smoked your pipe to aggravate his asthma, causing him into an attack. Watch him suck on his inhaler, inevitably sealing his fate. Severed his spinal column so he couldn't leave. Bashed him in the head with a fire poker in a fit of rage.
No, I didn't. All right, I did him with the fire poker. But he was being arrogant and so endlessly rude. And I left right after that. And he was still breathing. And I haven't smoked my pipe in years. I just keep it for the look.
Mr. Buttles,
What willst thou have of me?
I need to turn this man over to Scotland Yard for murder and conspiracy to commit. And this man as well. He's here to rob the mansion. I noticed that as soon as I looked at him. Honestly, miss, you could do a lot better.
Thou wishest not to take him to the yard of Scotland thyself?
No, Mr. Buttles, I'm out of my jurisdiction, not to mention my country.
But you just solved the case.
No, he didn't. I'm innocent. I swear it.
I know I did, Bradley.
So, you aren't going to take them to jail?
Well, legally, I can't take them anywhere. I knew that from the beginning.
So why go through it if you couldn't apprehend any of us?
Well, Rob, what can I say? It's what I do.
Now that's Holmes. Stroke your own ego from now on, Rob. Lieutenant Kane, wait. Would you like to go for a drink or dinner?
What a night. I commit assault. Leave. Return to solve the crime. Get discovered. I'm bested by a bloody Yankee.
Tell me about it. I came here with a beautiful woman, an unblemished reputation, and lost them both in the course of the evening. And to top it all off, I can't even find the proverbial hidden vault, which is supposed to make this evening count for something.
Vault? Master Watson has no vault.
Bloody great.
Damn.
However, he does have a numbered Swiss bank account. I believe the account number and password are in a safe in the study. I know after the events of tonight, I could certainly use a pay increase.
I did just lose a business partner.
Don't look at me as the voice of opposition. Without Doyle, I'm worthless.
Very well, gentlemen, let's go get rich.
You both do realize I'm innocent, right? I mean, the evidence is all wrong. You try making the case stick on tobacco, and I haven't smoked in years.
Honestly, man, what does it matter?
I suppose you're right.
Detectives?
There's four over there.
Go ahead.